Welcome back to Spirit Lounge. How are you doing today? Today's subject is going to be karma. Karma is quite a large subject to discuss, so we'll try to wrap it up in a short video today. What is karma? Karma is many things, but one thing it isn't is an enforced punishment. We have to understand that from the beginning. Karma is energy. It's our forward projected energetic frequency. We project this frequency into subspace. We can call this causality. It's the causality of our future experiences. It's the causality of our past experiences, of our current experience, of our future in this life, and future incarnations or incarnations. It's what we do. It's the old saying, you reap what you sow. And it's very, very true. We do reap what we sow. But what we do reap is either positive or negative energy. Karma is simply our actions, our words, our thoughts, our intents project energy forward into the quantum and Akashic field as timelines. As mentioned before in the free will video, timelines, karma, and free will are heavily linked together. They're co-joined like everything else in the universe. There is no separation. I'll be repeating this many, many times in every video, probably to ad nauseum to some of you listeners. But everything is connected. There is absolutely no separation at all in anything. No matter how minute or microscopic it may be, whether you feel it has consciousness or not, or intelligence or not. So energy is the substance of everything that exists, and it's what's transformed into matter and experience. It's timelines, it's outcomes. It's malleable, it changes. And our actions, words, thoughts and intents transform those into forward projected energy, forward projected energetic patterns that we experience in the future called karmic experiences. So if we project or live a life where we execute our actions, our words, our thoughts and intents through the heart, through the spirit, then we can only have outcomes of love and joy, happiness, peace, contentment, and those fruits. If we decide to exhibit and practice life through only the mental, the ego, unbalanced ego, we all need some ego, unbalanced ego, self-awarded pedestal of intellectualism, narcissism, deceit, control, power. The list, walking the path of the negative path, if you like, can lead to all manner of actions. And your outcomes will be the same. Your karmic path will be the same. Now, some would say, well, why do those who perform negative actions always seem to be doing well, and those who are good seem to suffer? It's something we'll address in a different video, but essentially we should not confuse what we experience in the material world to what karma means in the non-material world, i.e. our real home. In this material world, corruption, manipulation, agenda, doctrine is forever powerful. We've given our power away to those forces. And therefore, those who control and perform what we would deem, those heart-centered beings among us, would deem as negative, they bear the positive fruits of those from a material sense, i.e. those being power, money, control, dominance, more and more absorbed into themselves, be that land, corporations, money, banking, whatever it may be. So in our eyes, from a material sense, we see those as being rewards. Well, actually, they're not rewards. We should see karma, forward projections of energy that they are from our previous actions, words and thoughts. We reap what we sow, as being more transcendental than that. because they are. This life is temporary, it's a fleeting, it's a heartbeat and it's gone, really, in the infiniteness of experience. We have many, many incarnations. So karma is really about what your future is. It's more your transcendental future, future beyond this form, future beyond all your future forms, past forms, and where you place yourself today. So it's important to understand karma is forward projection of energy. We will reap what we sow. We'll either reap it weeks, months, years, decades ahead, or maybe future incarnations ahead. Karma is also is all pervasive. It's unavoidable. It cannot be passed on. You cannot pass karma on to another person. We are absolutely responsible for our actions, our words, our thoughts and intents. Karma is an overriding principle of cause and effect. Have a cause, it has an effect. The cause is energetic, the effect is energetic. It's a written footprint or timeline. We have multiple timelines that we write. The energetic footprint is in our quantum field, our Akashic records. And so we own that. So the decision is a free will decision again. That's why they're so closely interlinked, everything is. We have free will to determine our actions, our words, our thoughts and intents, which will form the outcomes of our karma. Karma being our forward imprinted energy that we will have to walk in balance. And that in turn will have its own outcomes of experience that we have. We have to address karma in terms of not just individual but collective. So if we understand karma is all pervasive, then we must understand it transcends individual. It transcends nations, countries, galaxies, universe and universes. It's the underlying principle that all exists from creation, transformation and destruction. Those three forces are cause and effect. Everything is malleable. Energy is malleable. The universe is malleable. It changes all the time. Through cause and effect, it has free will within it. It doesn't have to be conscious in talking and seeing and hearing and tasting like we do and touching. Everything has consciousness, everything has will, and everything has cause and effect and karma attached to it. So it can transcend, and what we experience within this world that we have, that we're all in terms of the world around us today, we have what we seem to think is just overriding negativity, overriding heavy energy, war, destruction, manipulation. That's all we're fed in the news, or we read in the newspapers. The endless blogs and YouTube channels that will force this down your throat. That isn't always the case. That isn't actually the case. There is lots of good and love in this world. We just need to be willing to look for it and ask for it. What we experience collectively and as a country and as a species, human species, has been something that we've karmically allowed collectively. This doesn't mean that you're individually responsible for it, no. We are collectively responsible for it from the balance of karma. So what we experience today, we have allowed to be manifest, or we have allowed to write as an energetic footprint in the quantum and Akashic field, as a timeline for all humanity, for humanity as a whole. Years, decades, centuries in the past. So what we experience today, we've allowed to be imprinted in the past. It's important to understand this, because this is a principle that transcends everything, no matter what it is, collective, individual, microscopic, subatomic, it doesn't matter. Universal, it's all the same. So if we want a different future, collectively or individually, be careful what we give your energy to, because it does matter. Be careful what you support. As we mentioned in the free will video, be careful what we destroy, we allow to be destroyed. Free will, sovereignty, liberty. This is all an impact on karma itself. Remember, thought, intention transforms energy into outcomes. Those outcomes we then transform into outward experiences through free will. They could be actions, words, thoughts and intents. The outcomes of those form our karma. Are those outcomes through free will, through love, or are those of not love? It's a choice. We also have to look at karma in terms of these religious doctrines that if we do bad deeds in this life, we're going to be punished either in the afterlife, in a purgatory, or we'll come into form as an animal or a lower form. These things are illusions. I'm sorry to say, and this will again upset many people who are deep-rooted in religious ideology and doctrine. Purgatory, I will be discussing in my video upon death, but it's self-imposed. Nothing is imposed upon you. The infinite spirit is a fractal of source, of God, the one, the divine. The divine exists. Make no mistake about that. No matter how intellectual we think we are, there's one thing that's certain. Well, three things that are certain. We are born. The other one is obviously taxes. And the last one is death. Everyone watching this video today, or watching other videos, or walking this earth, the 7.x billion humans, and everything else that exists, a blade of grass, a grain of sand, an insect, a bird, an animal, they all die. And we're all going to find out what the truth is in the end. So we either allow ourselves to try to discover it and admit it then, or dismiss it through intellectualism, or touch it while we're in form, which is the real purpose for life. We are not given enforced punishment through actions in this life. Some of them are heinous, I know, and this can be, for our humanness, we want punishment. We give punishment in the physical sense. We have sentences, prison, and in some places there's death sentences. But in the infiniteness, there isn't. The punishment that we have, the judgment that we seek, is actually our own. We will judge ourselves for the karmic energy footprint we've created. We'll judge ourselves for our lives that we've lived. We'll judge ourselves for the potentially repeating paradigms and tendencies that we've had in this life and other lives. And we'll create for ourselves another life to address those imbalances. So in fact, the punisher and the judge of our lives is ourselves. This is a decision we make when we're not bound by humanness. Humanness is just a vessel we're in. We don't make decisions of reincarnation from a humanness, from mind, because we don't have mind and we don't have humanness. We don't have these five senses. We don't have the limitations of the body and the senses and our perceptions. We are limitless, all possibility, all that is, all that we are, fractals of divine. We are the universe. We are all perceiving when we're not in body. When we're not in body, we make these decisions for life and our incarnations, our life plans, our purpose and intent for being. And it's up to us, as I mentioned before, to either repeat past tendencies and paradigms that kept us in the same state, or we can, through free will, evolve and move forward in our expansion, freedom and adventure. That is the purpose of spirit. Expansion, freedom and adventure. So there is no enforced punishment. Purgatory is our own, and I will be discussing that at length in a video soon to come about death. I want to address the other one about dropping into lower forms. Hinduism is always one religion. I was born into Hinduism, I've never followed it. It promotes that past lives, bad deeds will enforce a reincarnation into a lower form, a lower caste, an animal. This is not true. And I'll give you the reason why it isn't. The infinite spirit, its only purpose for life, as I mentioned before, is expansion, freedom and adventure. We choose a vessel that matches our evolution, the state of our evolution of expansion in us towards grace. We're all in human bodies. This vessel that I'm in, the vessels that you guys are in, is because you chose it and because your spirit requires this vessel for future expansion. A dog, a cat, a snake, a fish, a bird, a blade of grass, a grain of sand is capable of its perception in that body. It has limitations within that vessel. But when it expands beyond those limitations, it moves to a vessel that allows greater expansion. Remember, the foundations of the universe are always intention and purpose. If there's no intention or purpose for something to be, it does not exist. There is no just happen chance and things just are there. It's not the case. And therefore, dropping into an animal for perceived wrongdoing in a lifetime you've just lived has no purpose. It has no intention. Intention is form. We do not go backwards in form. We will stay in the same human form as long as it serves the purpose. Punishment again is our own, and we will design lives that we need to live through our own volition. And we could keep repeating these same paradigms. We're not forced. We're forced to address them through our own life plan that we've agreed. We have the free will to ignore them all. There is no purpose for dropping into an animal form. We have no intention or purpose for dropping into a form that allows for lesser expression and expansion. There is no intention or purpose for it. Why would the spirit do that when it is already in a form that is a conduit for its future expansion? There's no purpose to that. This doesn't appeal to religious ideologies out there, but it's true. Sometimes the truth is the truth, and that's it. You can resonate this yourselves internally and see where it takes you. But karma is it can't be avoided. It can't be passed on. It's energetic footprint. It's causality. It links to multiple timelines. We can switch from timeline to timeline instantly depending on what we do through free will. But we will always imprint our energetic footprint in the karma and the quantum field. It just is a universal force that everything is subject to. And it's a universal force that is a principle of growth of the universe itself. It constantly grows. So this is a quick video on karma. I'll be touching it again when I discuss timelines. Free will again will come into that discussion. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe, and add any comments and any things you'd like me to discuss in the future. And it's been great talking to you again, and thanks so much for listening. Thank you.